What's up, guys? Welcome to the first ever live show on the Overtime Heroics YouTube as well as the Twitter. I'm the host, Grant Pushkar, and we got a call in from the Bushart report. That's what this show is going to be, and it's going to really be free agency stuff. So how you doing, man?
Hey, Grant, how's it going?
I'm good. Happy to have you in here for your fantasy insight, man.
Yep. We're looking to do a lot of NBA draft major coverage today, and we will hopefully have some more this weekend. But I think I'd love to start the show now by talking about some trades that have happened already that will definitely affect how free agency goes. So everyone knows the Anthony Davis trade. I mean, it's common knowledge by now. But as reported today by Woj on Twitter, there's been a third team added to this trade, right? So we have the Washington Wizards coming into this trade and taking Mo Wagner, Isaac Wagner, and Jeremiah Jones. So those are the three rookies that the Lakers had. They wanted to shed that cap space so that they could also Anthony Davis dropped his $4 million trade bonus. So they opened up now $32 million for them to be able to use in free agency. But, you know, there's been some negative feedback here for the Wizards, which I don't really get. You know, people are like, well, why would the Wizards do this? You know, why would they help the Lakers get this max slot open with
Right.
$30 million?
You can keep. It doesn't seem like, I don't get why they would do it or why. Like, it doesn't really make any sense at all.
Yeah, so here's my thing. I don't think the Wizards really care what the Lakers do. You know, the Wizards are in the East. They're not a team that wants to win right now. You know, John Wall's hurt. Bradley Beal, you know, they're about to offer him some money. But, like, they don't have a team that's going to win a championship, and they know that.
Right.
But they see some guys they liked last year in the drafts. They liked Mo Wagner a lot. They liked Isaac Wagner a lot. These are guys that can come in, get some minutes that they weren't getting in L.A., and they could use them. You know, the Wizards can use them down the road.
Right, for sure.
But here's the thing is that with that max slot open for the Lakers, they now have the opportunity to go after a big free agent, or they can break it up. And we're going to talk about that later in the show, kind of what I think they should do and kind of get your opinion on what the Lakers do with all that cap room. But another trade I want to mention real quick is the Mike Conley trade. So Mike Conley gets sent to Utah from the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies get back Kyle Korver, Jay Crowder, Grayson Allen, and 2 first-round draft picks, one of which was used this year to get Brandon Clark from Gonzaga. So the trade makes sense for Utah because they pair Donovan Mitchell now with a veteran scoring point guard. But the way it affects free agency is that a lot of people were saying Kyle Korver will get cut by the Grizzlies.
And he'll go to the Lakers maybe.
Yeah, he has a non-guaranteed contract. So the Lakers would be a great fit for him. He's from that area. He's said publicly that he has maybe 1 or 2 years left in the league. So why not go and try to win a championship with the Lakers?
Right.
Guys, go ahead.
Yeah, so I want to get your take. Another thing that happened is there's another rumor that J.R. Smith is going to go on the veterans minimum. What would you think if J.R. Smith went there? Because, you know, everyone knows what happened with that one play in the finals a couple years back where J.R. Didn't know the time, didn't know the situation, and they ended up not kicking it out to LeBron when he was open, and then they ended up losing that game. And I really feel like if they would have taken that game 1, that would have changed the whole series. I'm not saying LeBron would have got another ring, but I really think that would have changed the whole series. So what do you think? You can tell your thoughts about that, but what do you think about JR potentially signing on a veterans minimum?
Yeah, I think JR fits with what the Lakers are trying to do. I think people see that play and they don't realize how much JR meant to that team that year.
Right.
They don't realize how well he plays LeBron. He's one of the very few players that has thrived with LeBron. LeBron being a heavy ball handler, scoring a lot. JR is that guy that you can throw it to him in the corner, he'll make a three, you know.
For sure.
Yes, he's had some bonehead mistakes, but the thing is that if LeBron wants him there, he's going to be there. The Cavs don't want that the contract on their roster anymore. They want to alleviate that spot because, you know, they're getting younger. They're getting a lot more.
Right.
He's been there for so long, so they're trying to move him on. So I think he'd be a great fit. So like you could easily see the Lakers, you know, adding JR, adding Kyle Korver to those vet minimum contracts, and if they go out and sign another big guy, which we'll talk about in a second, they're going to have they're to fill out that roster with those minimum contract guys.
Right.
Right now on their roster, there's 3 players. There's AD, there's LeBron, and there's Kyle Kuzma.
Right, and if they get another max contract type thing, like they're gonna have no bench, and in the NBA, you need a bench. Like you can't have, like they would be good if they got like Jimmy Butler or Kawhi or any of these big max contract deal guys, but if they go and get them, like I just said, they're gonna struggle so much for. Like, once they can't play, they're not going to play the whole game. LeBron's getting older, you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
If they don't have a bench, I mean, I don't really think they can win a championship with that type of, with just 3 stars. I definitely think they should go the route of maybe, like, solid guys that you can round off your rotation rather than just one other max contract. But Kawhi is hard to pass up on, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing is that LeBron did this in Cleveland. They had the big 3 with
right,
Kyrie and Kevin. And they surrounded themselves with veteran guys who were okay with taking, the minimum contracts.
Right.
The issue with the Lakers now is that LeBron's 35. How much longer is he gonna be in the league? He's still
for sure.
He still had MVP caliber numbers, but he's getting up there in age. So the thing is that they're sending themselves around to win now, and I get it. I mean, go after that championship, but.
And you need to do it now with LeBron 35, like you said, that age. Like,
yeah,
you're going to continue your thought with 4 or 5 years now because I think you're going on the exact same page that I'm going on.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so the last trade I want to discuss real quick before we move into the big time free agents that we're going to talk about tonight is one that really shocked me on draft night, and a lot of analysts discussed about this trade. But Aaron Baines getting traded from the Celtics to the Suns with the 24th pick for a future first really shocked me.
Right.
The Celtics did it, obviously, to clear some cap space. I think he had like a $6 million contract. They get that off of their books. But Aaron Baines is one of their better role players last year. They're losing Horford already. He's already said that he's not coming back, or at least he's looking other places. And now you trade away your backup center who could possibly start and be good on your team for nothing. They gave away the 24th pick, which ended up being Ty Jerome, to the Suns for a 2020 pick. Yes, that might be a lottery pick, but I mean, the Celtics don't make sense to me right now.
Right.
They're not doing anything right. It feels like Danny Ainge is sitting in like a room twiddling his thumbs like, it'll all be okay. It's not going to be.
And I think Jason Tatum and you don't. Yeah, they're good and they're young, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, but I'm not putting all my marbles in those 2 guys. I don't know about you, but like, it's just Gordon Hayward's contract is terrible still.
Yeah.
So they're in a really bad spot, and the whole Kyrie thing. Kyrie said he wasn't going to leave Cleveland, and then he ended up doing so, obviously. And now he said he wasn't going to leave Boston, and now it looks like he is going to leave Boston. Yeah. So it's just a mess.
The Celtics are at a place where it's make some hard decisions or be bad. Like Tatum and Brown and Hayward will get you to the playoffs. It's going to happen. The East is that weak.
For sure.
But you're not going to win any games. I mean, you got Terry Rozier on a restricted free agent contract, which
I've heard rumors about him going to New York as well. Terry Rozier.
Yeah, the Knicks want him. The Nets want him. You got those guys. Kyrie's already said that he might not be coming back. He changed. We'll jump into. Let's just jump straight into the NBA free agent. Let's talk about Kyrie first. So he changed agents. He went from I don't know who he had first, but he went to Rock, which is Jay-Z's agency.
Yep.
And Jay-Z is a huge affiliate with the Nets. So that right there to me is like
in Brooklyn, and for them to go off and sign Kyrie, which I don't like. How big of a gap do you think the difference is between Kyrie and D'Lo? Like, do you think there's a huge gap, or I mean,
his playoff experience,
right?
I mean, what you did with Cleveland, the series they came back and won the title after being down 3-1. Like, that's the Kyrie that everybody wants and remembers.
For sure.
But the Kyrie that you get on a day-to-day basis may not be that,
I mean, I don't like Kyrie. Like, the way he straight up left Cleveland saying, I'm tired of being under LeBron's shoes. I'm tired of being under LeBron's wing. Like, I hate it, and I really don't think he's going to ever be able to lead a team or franchise on his own and lead them to the playoffs. So,
yeah, that's an interesting point because, the Nets, I think, realize that. There have been rumors on Twitter about, Brooklyn maybe not jumping after Kyrie if they can get KD or they can't get another big-time star.
Right.
And I think that might be the mindset for them is that in this league, if you get to the finals in the East, you have to have either a team that's solid, like Toronto, where they have one star, but then you have guys like Kyle Lowry, Marc Gasol, Pascal Siakam, who are very, very good role players.
For sure.
You have to have stars because you can't compete with the mega teams in the West. And the East has good teams. They have great teams that have that. The Bucks are great.
The East is just so weak all around. I mean, like I would say the top 5 teams are good, but you really drop off after that.
Yeah, so the thing is that once you get to that finals matchup and you're facing, not next year because Golden State has injuries, but a Golden State team like this past year that has Clay, that has Steph, that has even DeMarcus Cousins, like those guys, you have to have a full team.
Right.
So I think the Nets are thinking, we get Kyrie, we get our point guard, or you keep D'Angelo Russell. I don't really know where they're at mindset wise. I think they'll shoot for one of those guys as a point guard, but then you have to find someone else that can come in and score because yes, you have guys that are good, the young talented roster,
but you got to build around them.
Yeah, I think you have to have at least one more piece, and that let's transition now to the next guy that I think could be a big factor in free agency, and that's Kevin Durant. So, as everyone knows, Kevin Durant towards Achilles.
Real quick, what are your thoughts on that injury? I've been a KD hater ever since he joined the Warriors, but the injury for me really changed the whole perspective on the Warriors, their situation, and all that. Because I've seen stuff that it came out that he's pissed with the Warriors organization. For rushing him back, it's a huge mess. And then for Klay Thompson to tear his ACL too, it's just all of that is a huge mess. It's crazy.
Yeah, so I don't know how he's affected with the Warriors. I know that he still feels like they have a brotherhood there. They've won championships there. Like him and Steph and Klay are all still tight. Draymond, all those guys are really close. I don't personally believe the Warriors necessarily rushed him back. I think that he wanted to play. I think the Warriors, they told the staff that there wasn't another chance that he can hurt his, it was his calf, right? His calf.
Yep, calf.
And, all that stuff happened. And then it comes to time in sports where freakish incidents happen.
And you hate to see them because it's just
hate to see them.
It's just bad for injuries. I've always been I know everyone hates injuries, but I've been one guy where I cannot stand injuries. They ruin careers. They really ruin everything.
Yeah, and his injury is going to take a long time.
Right, and it happened in the finals. He's not going to touch the court this year.
Yeah.
So it's just.
No, I agree.
It's a big mess. But for every guys that tune here to the Bushart Report, Bushart here is on the phone live with us. Make sure you guys go like, comment, and subscribe. Also, because once you subscribe, you enter the giveaway for the a jersey giveaway that we're doing, partnered through Overtime Heroic. So make sure you go subscribe and enter that giveaway. And also, I have my phone on me, and so does Nick. So what you guys can do is in the last 10 minutes of this, we're going to do like a mailbag thing. So if you guys at us or reply to us with the tweet, we'll be answering your questions live here for you guys on the show. And then Philly News Today, if you haven't checked them out on Twitter, at Phillies Today, they have this free fantasy agency thing. It's really cool. It just combines fantasy sports and NBA free agency. He hasn't gotten too many people in on it yet, but if you do want to get more information on that, it could be huge for him. So go DM him on Twitter if you want in on that, again, at Phillies Today. But go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, so kind of going off the injury of KD, as you said, he's going to be out this year. He's not going to play. He could possibly be back for the finals, they said maybe, but this injury is going to take him really a year and a half to get back. So he'll recover for about a year. And then playing-wise, it's really hard to get back up to speed. You can see that from DeMarcus Cousins when he had the same injury when he was with the Pelicans.
He really didn't do anything this year, at all.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Is it takes a while to get back into game form, get back into where KD can be KD. But here's the thing, is that he declined his player option, which was a $31 million option. A lot of people talked about how
he's just doing it to get a supermax.
Yeah, well, the thing is that he could have stayed and he could have rehabbed for the next year and then gotten at least a supermax contract or even a signed trade deal. There's talks about that where they would say keep him for a year and then trade him.
Yeah, I saw that.
But the thing is that I think he wants to move now because I think he's ready to be the guy again.
Right.
And people can say, uh, with Oklahoma City that he wasn't the guy, but he was. I mean, Russell Westbrook was still really young at that point.
Right.
James Harden was still really young.
It's been proven. Once KD left, I don't know what you guys think watching this live. Let us know, comment to this, but I'm not a big triple-double guy. Like, they're empty stats for me. Like, do his triple-doubles lead to wins? No, they don't. I mean, yeah, they're good, and I get he averaged a triple-double for a couple seasons, but, like, they don't lead to wins. And if I'm picking a guy, like you said, KD was the guy because KD's led Golden State to so many wins, championships. I get that he had tons of help in Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and all that, but I still think he's the guy because what happened in the finals, they couldn't win without him. So you're definitely right on that. KD is the guy, and the triple-double thing is just I'm so over the triple-double thing. But
yeah, so I see three teams obviously being kind of the front runners for this. Obviously, Golden State still has a good stronghold with him. As I said, he's really close with all those guys there. They've won titles. He loves Steve Kerr, all that kind of stuff. But then you got the Brooklyn Nets, which is interesting to me. We just talked about Kyrie going there, and as I said, they want to get a second All-Star, a second big name. And KD would be that, but as we could say, KD has to sit out a year, so it'd be the Kyrie Irving show for a year, which you don't think was possible. I think it possibly could work. It just would have to depend. I think Brooklyn's the best bet for Kevin if he wants to win more championships down the road. I mean, him and Kyrie plus their young core there with
Karis LeVert,
and those kind of guys, Jared Allen, those guys are good. So that team could be really good in 2 years. However, they're the third team, and it's the Knicks. And this one is very, very interesting to me. So a lot of people don't think the Knicks are going to do anything in free agency, that they're going to strike out everywhere. They're going to miss on these free agents, and it's very possible. Like the Knicks
if I had to go with, I would say they're going to strike out on free agency as well. I mean, RJ Barrett. What are your thoughts on RJ Barrett, real quick?
So I love RJ in that system. The Knicks need scoring.
Right.
That they struggle. Like they have nothing really. I mean, and RJ is that guy that, like, yes, he's kind of like, I'm not comparing James Harden, but he plays like James Harden. He's going to put up 40 shots a game.
Right.
And he might make 15, so he'll score 30 points. But you need that scoring. They need that role player. So but with Kevin, I think Kevin can play with RJ. I think they would be a very interesting fit together, but they would be able to kind of hold down that wing position. I think Kevin Durant, later in his career here, is going to turn more into a 4 than he has been a 3 in his career, so that he can stretch the floor and do his own thing. So if you put an RJ at the 3 there in New York, you put Kevin at the 4 in a couple of years, they could be deadly.
Right. I've also seen rumors that the Knicks could target DeMarcus Cousins in free agency as well because he's not going to get too much money because no one really saw too much from him this year. But I also think if KD were to go to the Knicks, it would be, like, obviously it's not good that he got hurt, but it's good that RJ will have a year, if they don't splash in free agency with anyone else, he'll have a year to develop by himself, and then once KD comes along, like, after this year, because we all know he can't play this season, like, he could be well developed. He'll have a whole year under his belt and really could mesh well with KD in that system, like you said.
Yeah, and so I like to close each person with kind of my prediction, and you can talk about your prediction with where they land. I think Kyrie's at the Nets. I think that's a done deal almost. I don't think there's any kind of wavering.
I agree with you on that one. So
I think KD ends up being a Net. And
you do? Wow. I don't see that.
I think they could pay him the money. I think he loves, like, he's spending time in the New York area. There was a picture day with him, over there in that city, in that town. Like, he loves that area.
Right.
But also, he is the guy there. Like, Kyrie is not going to be the guy. We just talked about that. He's not going to be the guy. So Kevin will be the guy again. And Kevin, I mean, he likes playing with all-stars. Obviously, he's played with the Warriors. He's played with the Thunder.
Yeah,
but he also likes
all-star stuff.
The primary scorer. And Golden State, as much as I love them, as a super team, I don't think they need to be a super team anymore. I think it's to the point you either let Curry be the guy there, which he was for so long before they got KD.
Right.
And they got KD, and you can see that Curry is not – he's obviously producing. He's obviously putting up big numbers, but he's not the same Steph Curry that was there before Kevin Durant got there. And people can argue with that all the time. But you saw in the finals of this year that he has to step up to lead that team.
Right.
And I I don't think he's at the place where he needs to be. So that's my thing. I think he ends up with Brooklyn.
I don't see the Brooklyn thing. I mean, I get like all those points that you made, but I can't even. I have a big question mark around KD just because of the injury and stuff like that. But if he ends up going there, that means obviously D'Lo. Obviously D'Lo is gone. So
yeah. So let's move on to D'Lo. So D'Lo, this has been interesting. We talked about this a little bit earlier before we got on the show. Is the Lakers have been rumored to be front runners for D'Angelo Russell, which, if you followed basketball the past couple of years, you know that D'Angelo Russell was traded from the Lakers to the Nets, and he was kind of like disgracefully they had some like bad blood going on, you know. And from what reports today have been is that was Magic Johnson's front running. His doing was getting D'Angelo Russell out of there. And that other, staff members with the Lakers really loved Russell.
Right.
So what are your thoughts on Russell going back to LA and being the point guard next to LeBron if the Lakers strike out on, if they strike out on Kawhi, or if they strike out on guys like Clay or Kevin? What do you think Russell is there?
Right. So I think it would be. Yes, I think it would be a good fit. D'Angelo Russell, because then you would have D'Lo, Kuzma, LeBron, and AD. But like I said earlier, I talked to you about this earlier before you called into the show today. They're not going to have much other than those four guys if that ends up happening. So with that being said, as much as I think it will be elite and people wouldn't be able to stop them, they're not going to be able to play every single minute of every single game, and they will have no depth after that. So I really think D'Angelo Russell to the Lakers is a high possibility, but I don't think it would be the best fit for them just because of they would not have a bench at all. But we'll get to a couple of the comments here from Sports Mania. Bird once said triple doubles are overrated. Yeah, I gotta agree with him, man. They really are overrated. It's just they're empty stats, and like Russell Westbrook has showed us that they don't lead to wins. From A Crush 844, I'm a huge fan of what you guys are doing. I believe that this is the start of something awesome, and that overtime heroics will be a huge deal. Don't get discouraged. Just keep what you guys are doing and do it to your best ability. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. That's really awesome to hear. From Vincent Pensabine, Nets, Raptors, Celtics, 76ers, Bucks, Pacers. It's not as strong as the Western Conference, but it isn't weak. So, Nick, would you consider it weak, or would you? What's the term you would consider the East, real quick, before we head back to what we were going over?
I think I think you said this earlier, that the top 5 or 6 are very strong in the East, and I think that list he gives there is obvious. The Nets are upcoming. The Raptors just won a title. Celtics,
right?
You can debate that all you want to, but here's the thing about the East and why I call it weak. There's 15 teams in each conference.
Right, 5 out of 15.
You gave me 6 that are quote-unquote strong. Does the bottom half of the East outweigh the fact that the top half is strong? So are the Charlottes of the world, are the New York Knicks of the world, the teams that are very much struggling right now, are they good enough to call that conference good? And if I would say they're not weak, I would say that it's a growing conference. So you have a lot of teams that are young. The Hawks, they're going to be good in a couple of years. The Knicks, if they surround R.J. Barrett with some talent, they're going to be good in a couple of years. Miami's rebuilding.
Right.
So all these squads they're going to be good, but they're not good yet. So
I really like what the Hawks are putting together. I really think they could be something special in a couple of years.
I think it might be sooner than a couple of years. And
really?
My thing is that front office is killing it this offseason. So one of the things we'll kind of dive into this more this weekend on the show, but one of the things the Hawks did was being able to trade assets that aren't, killer assets for
the guys that they got.
Picks or prospects or guys like that can grow.
Right.
So being able to trade with the Nets, so the Nets can really alleviate some cap space, and then you get some first-round picks or some picks out of that, big. Being able to trade Bazemore to Portland for Evan Turner. Evan Turner is not a scrub. Evan Turner will be the primary ball handler off the bench when you got when Trey is having to take a break.
Right.
They're building a squad that could be really good. In the draft they get DeAndre Hunter, they get Cam Reddish, like 2 guys that you never thought would
definitely guys, exactly.
So they're building. They're doing well.
Right. So we got 5 minutes left on the show for you guys today. So what we're going to do is we're going to get to a couple more comments, just maybe a few, and then wrap up our last second thoughts here, because we'll have a show. We're going to try to have a show Sunday once free agency officially starts, to give you guys all the breaking news and all that. Another comment from Sportsmania is Harden putting up 36 points per game is amazing, but not surprised. Since Rockets had key injuries, Paul and Capella, I wasn't as amazed as the majority of the people were. Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. 36 points per game is really good, but I'm really glad he did end up getting MVP. What were your thoughts on Giannis getting MVP real quick?
Definitely deserved. I think he's best player in NBA this year, hands down, defensively, offensively.
Right, and Tecmo, my friend Tecmo Zach, that's his Twitter handle. He commented like, MVP is a guy where if you take him off their team, they're a lottery. Like they're a lottery team, and I think we said it was the case for all of those 3 players, all of those guys essentially. But yeah, I mean,
I have a couple comments I'd like to get to
for sure
from our Overtime Heroics Twitter. So Bleacher Mob Stimpy threw out a hot take that he wanted Jimmy Butler to be on the Clippers with Klay Thompson and Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi was the last guy we didn't get to talk about yet. But Kawhi, I think he's staying in Toronto. I don't think there's a chance he leaves. But if he does, the Clippers are the place he's going. I've said this since the finals.
No Lakers? You're not going Lakers on this one?
Kawhi is a Laker. I will be so sad. I will be so depressed that I will go and eat tubs of ice cream. Kawhi should not be a Laker. Now, the Clippers make so much sense for Kawhi. Kawhi loves LA. He loves being in the atmosphere.
Right.
But the Clippers have a young team. They have 2 max slots. And honestly, Bleacher Mob, you could be right. So if the Clippers trade Dario Gallinari into cap space, which is a lot of teams in the league that have that cap space, the Grizzlies, the Knicks, the Nets, whatever, trade into that cap space, you could have enough for 2 full max contracts, and then enough for if Butler is willing to take a little bit of a pay cut.
Then the Clippers would be stacked. I mean, they're so young, and they took 2 games from the Warriors this year. So you can imagine what they would be like if they weren't if they didn't have to trade away or get rid of too many of those guys. You know what I mean?
For sure. And so there's one last one I want to talk about, and this was a trade that was proposed in our Overtime Heroics group message. Nick Kelland proposed this trade. So there's been a lot of talks about Houston wanting to get Jimmy Butler, trying to trade Clint Capella, PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon.
Right.
So the trade would be the Sixers receiving Gallinari, PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon, Houston getting Jimmy Butler, and the Clippers getting Clint Capella.
Wow.
I think that trade it wouldn't happen. I don't think the 76ers want those players.
Right. But I'm with you.
In theory, it would be a great trade. Houston gets what they want, Jimmy Butler, which doesn't make any sense to me why they would want Jimmy Butler. We can discuss that this weekend. It doesn't make sense. I don't get it. Trading Clint Capella is the weirdest part about that whole thing for me with Houston, that they're willing to trade one of the top 5 centers in the league who defensively roots that team. But the Clippers would be head over heels to get Clint. And the 76ers, getting Gallo and PJ Tucker and Eric Gordon, yes, you're building a bench, which is what they struggled with last year at times.
Right.
But are they willing to give up the idea of Jimmy Butler, which I don't think they are yet. There's a lot of rumors about him. Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris the 76ers want them back on their team. So I think that's interesting also.
Definitely. But yeah, guys, that's really going to wrap up this first ever live show, the Bushart Report. Nick, thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for calling into the show. I really appreciate it. Get your insight on NBA free agency and stuff coming up. I know I'm excited, and I know you are too.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Grant.
Yeah, no problem, man. And also, guys, like I said, if you haven't already, go comment, like, and subscribe. If you subscribe, you enter the giveaway. The jersey giveaway that will be announced this Sunday. So thanks again for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you guys in the next live show.